Why are you carrying a knife?
Because sometimes I need to hurt people. I'm doing this for you, princess.
Alright, here we go. At ages 11 to 16, you do things that you think will define you. More often than not, you end up turning them into pillar examples of what not to be. For me, and for many of you as well, one of these pillars of regret was the horrid mistake of installing Wattpad. And more than that, realizing that the right button was just as easy to press as the one for reading Gaster Sandek's reader fanfics written by other 12-year-olds. So come here and take my hand as I walk you through this moment in history that I like to call the golden age of Wattpad X reader fanfiction, including some of mine from when I was like 11.
Stupid, stupid, stupid! You just had to be still for a few seconds and you could have been mine.
If you're not exactly sure what this whole X-reader type of fiction is, it's very easy to explain and not at the same time. You might recognize the X from when people pair two fictional characters together. Think Uraraka x Izuku. The X in this context means, "Aw, these two would be so cute together," that kind of stuff. In the context of X-reader fanfiction, this X means that any character, or sometimes real people, we'll get to that, are written in a way that pairs them with you, the person reading the text. So Gaster Sand's X-reader very simply means you're about to read a fiction piece where you, yes, you, will be romantically involved with Gaster Sands. This leans heavily into the world of self-insert fiction, where someone who's a big fan of a certain media wants to see themselves inside of it. They might create an original character and write them into the ongoing story, or they might make a completely new story with that universe and just plop themselves fully as themselves into it. When the latter is done, the term YN is used. This is not yes/no, but instead stands for your name. Through this very simple arrangement of small details, you've successfully created something known as the X-reader fanfiction, which is just writing stuff where you and your favorite character like make out and stuff. The mechanics of it are really simple, but the psychology is a bit trickier. Still, the appeal is very obvious. It's about escapism and wish fulfillment. If you had a crush on an anime character, a video game villain, or even a boy band member, Wattpad gave you a way to imagine that they noticed you back. It wasn't about crafting great literature, it was just about scratching that like, what if fantasy. And for a generation of kids, this was the ultimate power fantasy. Not just being in the same world as your favorite character, but being the one person that they obsess over. Like, forget the actual love interest, you were now the center of their world. So that being said, why did this blow up so much on Wattpad in particular? Mainly because Wattpad just made it incredibly stupid easy. You didn't need to know how to code like on early forums or navigate clunky fanfiction archives. Fanfiction.net was its own mess, and Archive of Our Own has X-reader content too, but its format is awkward and its entry system is very confusing. To this day, I still don't have an account. I couldn't figure it out. In contrast, Wattpad was free, accessible, and practically begging 12-year-olds to write questionable romances at 2 AM on there. Some of the most popular tropes that I can remember were delinquent X-reader, bad boy X-reader, yandere X-reader. Come to think of it, like, now that I'm saying it out loud, these were like really unhealthy. So now we have a decent understanding of the, I guess we can call it an ecosystem of this growing genre. Google Trends tells us Wattpad was at its peak in the 2010s, which makes sense for most internet rabbit holes. So with that information in mind, what were the most popular subgenres with this one? I was actually gonna go back to read one of these X-readers, but then I realized that I don't have any music. Are you gonna continue? This message is sponsored by Raycon. Perfect timing since, you know, it's back to school season. Right before the semester started, I actually lost one of my earbuds, and since I'm on campus for like 10 hours a day. I needed something reliable fast, and that's how I landed on Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic. I use the active noise cancellation a lot, honestly, just because I want to forget that I'm actually at school when I'm at school, but the awareness mode is great too. Like when I need to order a matcha or talk to someone real quick without pulling the earbuds out, just super easy. They've also got multi-point connectivity, so I can keep them paired to my laptop and my phone at the same time. I went with the rose gold color because it matches my laptop the most, and with that, these feel like an accessory that actually fits me. They also have this adorable cloud case that works perfectly to protect them while I'm out. A few features that make them my go-to every day is the 32 hours of battery life with the case, quick charge since 10 minutes charging gets you 90 minutes of playtime, and just in general, they sound really good without costing as much as premium brands. Over 3 million people already use Raycons, and they come with a 30-day happiness guarantee. So if you don't love them, returns are super easy. I've been using them since I received them for my, again, 10-hour days on campus, and I genuinely couldn't recommend them more. The noise cancelling is amazing, and the awareness mode also makes it really easy to talk to people around me if I ever need to do so fast. If you want to try them out, click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/FROMMI to get 20% off site-wide. That's buyraycon.com/FROMMI, and thanks again to Raycon for sponsoring this video. So, 2010s, mainly like 2012 to 2018. What did many chronically online people love the most at this time? I'm gonna split this into 3 main categories because I can. First up, we have random media fanfics. So this means just generally anything. Think My Little Pony, Creepypasta, Harry Potter, MCU, just random media with their own fandoms. You'll find X-Reader content sprinkled through all of these. My Little Pony wasn't especially flooded with X-Reader stories, not that it was immune. Still, My Little Pony will forever cement a spot in the worst fanfictions of all time category thanks to Cupcakes. I've detailed this in other videos, but TLDR, Cupcakes is a very famous My Little Pony fanfiction that's just very poorly written in its original form. Aw, don't go yet, Dash. She started pulling out the rest of the organs, stopping at each one. I know I can be a real pain-acky ass, but you know I'm just kidding with you. You really gotta learn to liver up. Boy, these jokes are getting bladder. Guess you gotta develop a stomach for him. She placed the discarded body parts in a bucket, keeping the last one for a bit longer. Oh, bagpipes, she said, placing the tube in her mouth and the organ in her armpit. A spurt of acid hit her tongue. Okay. Harry Potter, though, was way more subject to direct X-Reader content. Like, it was famous for it on Wattpad. I think it even blew up on TikTok for a while, too, alongside MCU fanfics. Those edits where fictional characters appear alone on screen while text overlays some iconic line from Your Name, who's usually a badass, hard to get baddie. They say something so unbelievably cool, leaving the love interest just stunned and smitten. Oh my god, this Wattpad rating is already getting to me. Harry Potter, though, I'm including specifically because of one specific self-insert story tied to it that also circles the internet as one of the worst fanfictions ever made. My Immortal, a simple Harry Potter fanfiction, starts like this. Hi, my name is Ebony Darkness Dementia Raven Way, and I have long ebony black hair, that's how I got my name, with purple streaks and red tips that reaches my mid-back, and icy blue eyes like limpid tears, and a lot of people tell me I look like Amy Lee. Author's note, if you don't know who she is, get the hell out of here. I'm not related to Jared Way, but I wish I was, because he's a major fucking hottie. I'm a vampire, but my teeth are straight and white. I have pale white skin. I'm also a witch and I go to a magic school called Hogwarts in England, where I'm in the 7th year. I'm 17. I'm a goth, in case you couldn't tell, and I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic and I buy all my clothes from there. For example, today I was wearing a black corset with matching lace around it and a black leather miniskirt, pink fishnets, and black combat boots. I was wearing black lipstick, a white foundation, black eyeliner, and red shadow. I was walking outside Hogwarts. It was snowing and raining, so there was no sun, which I was very happy about. A lot of preps stared at me. I put up my middle finger at them. "Hey, Ebony," shouted a voice. I looked up. It was Draco Malfoy. "What's up, Draco?" I asked. "Nothing," he said shyly. But then, I heard my friends call me and I had to go away. End of chapter 1. I genuinely cannot tell you to this day if that was satire or not. It's pretty obvious Ebony is less of an original character and more of a self-insert from the author may have been like at the time. Still, it's notorious in circles discussing ex-reader and self-insert content. Unlike the golden era we're discussing, My Immortal actually predates Wattpad by a long shot. It was posted on fanfiction.net between 2006 and 2007, making it one of the earliest self-insert works to ever go viral. Honestly, I think we give it far less appreciation than it deserves. And of course, creepypasta. Oh, how my heart warms for these ones. Creepypasta has an insanely dynamic fan space. Some people just genuinely enjoy the creepy characters and their original stories, which in many cases are already just original characters on their own. Others, though, really like to add even more to it. Take all the creepypasta characters, smush them together into one setting, and you get a subgenre better known as the creepypasta mansion. This is so niche and so stupid. It's basically all the creepypastas and proxy characters living under one roof, horribly mischaracterized, and I love it. People would take this dynamic of all the characters being crammed into one space and use it as a playground to insert themselves, sometimes just for fun, imagining themselves as another proxy or a random person or creepypasta or whatever, but sometimes they would insert themselves romantically. I like this one a lot because my first ever fanfiction of all time, like in my entire life, was Tiki Toby X Reader fanfiction. And it wasn't creepypasta mansion, mind you, but it was creepypasta camp. I swear to God, this story is so fucking good. I reread it every 2 to 3 years and it's like, it's peak, I swear. I really like it. Here's one of my favorite parts, even though it kind of spoils the ending. Soon everyone was on the bus and Adam was about to drive off, but before he could close the doors, culprit appeared and stopped him. Wait, she gasped, running all the way here. I need to apologize. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. Adam glared at her before taking out his knife and throwing it straight into her stomach. The girl gasped in pain and Adam said, "Go rot," before he drove off. And for some reason when I was 11, I read this scene as him just fucking running her over. I don't know why, but it's equally as good with the knife. I really like it. Anyways, creepypasta X-Rater stuff has always been rampant around 2014 to 2016, which lines up perfectly with the general explosion of creepypasta content during that era. So, no surprise there. But if horror wasn't really your thing, don't worry. Video games had you covered. This is where I fell in. The main culprits here were easily Undertale, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Yandere Simulator. Five Nights at Freddy's, I wasn't super into it myself, but a lot of my friends were, and from their reports, the big ones were especially Security Guard X-Reader, Purple Guy / Vincent X-Reader. This was before we knew his name was William Afton, by the way. And sometimes certain animatronics X-Reader. Let me emphasize at this point, we didn't know yet that the robots were actually like dead children. So, you know, oops, FNAF was simply that popular, so it had fan content in every genre imaginable. X-Reader just happened to be one of them. It peaked between 2014 and 2016, which makes sense, it released in 2014. An actual fanfiction that I read back then was literally just called FNAF X-Reader. That was the whole title. "I'll be working with first name," Mike spoke up. "If you do anything to her, don't think I won't gut you and choke you with your own intestines." Vincent raised his hands. "Don't worry now. I don't plan to do anything of the sort." "Good," Mike said, glaring at Vincent. "I just wanted to introduce myself. I'll be going now. See you tonight, first name." That stupid ass squiggly line, oh my god. Undertale was also really popular as AU Sans content. I have a video that covers this briefly if you're interested, by the way. In relation to X-Reader, you'd usually see the edgier variations of Sans with the reader. Underfell Sans, Glitch Sans, all of them at the same time, I guess? Now, the reason I make the joke of Gasser Sans X-Reader very often is pretty simple. Here's a fun Wattpad feature. Anytime you read a book, even for 2 seconds, it'll save it safely into your catalog, and it lists those books in order. And my account goes way back. So my list, this is what it looks like dating back to like 2015. Oh no. Let me reiterate, I was fucking 11 and should not have been here. Oh, I'm gonna be sick. The appeal for me, and as I mentioned before, a huge popular trope overall, was this whole bad boy delinquent X-rater type, and I really liked sans. I didn't know what other delinquent types of sans there were. I guess I stumbled onto Gaster sans before Undertale for some reason, but yeah. In my defense, if it wasn't normal, there wouldn't be so many Gaster sans fanfictions. Let's just put it out there. And speaking of delinquent X-reader, Yandere Simulator! Yay! Yandere Simulator has a lot of X-reader potential, mainly because the game is written so poorly that it already reads like a fanfiction. You'd find content like a Yano X-reader, Budo X-reader for some reason, literally any rival X-reader, and this included the male versions of the rivals, obviously. And then a small community of people really like to ship the delinquents with the reader. I sure wonder what kind of freak would want to write something like that. I wrote 2 books for them. Not 1, 2! And if you count it right, technically 3, because one of them is an entire rewrite of the other book. I realized while writing this script that I have so much cringe potential sitting in one book, but then even more so in the old version of it. So, yay! I'll leave that for its own segment because I'm not in the mood to hate myself yet. So finally, let's move on to what I think is one of the most interesting and also the worst kind of X-reader fanfiction. Real people X-reader. This one makes me really uncomfortable now. It's exactly what it sounds like, you know. A real person, a fully autonomous human being who is breathing and living their actual life right at this moment, supposedly in love with you. This was most common with YouTubers, again chronically online people such as Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, and I find it extremely weird. That being said, there was once a time when I read these gleefully. I make content now, and I know my numbers are very itty bitty compared to YouTubers. Which, by the way, if you've enjoyed this video so far and would like to see more like it, make sure to subscribe. I make loads of nostalgia recaps and deep dives into niche internet culture. But still, it's weird to think just because someone has a platform online, people create such a parasocial and intimate connection with a person they just do not know. Hell, a boy in a band had an entire video of himself reading X-reader fanfictions of himself that, shocker, mischaracterized him to hell and back. I mean, that one I don't really care for. I fucking hate Boy in a Band. But it wasn't uncommon for any other YouTuber to be blasted online like this. In retrospect, it's very uncomfortable to witness. And I'm not talking about Darkiplier or Septiplier or whatever his name was, because I see those more as creepypastas and fanfictions on their own, so I really just don't mind that. But if you're writing about imagining yourself in the arms of the actual Mark Fishbach, I don't know what I can tell you, other than just don't do that. This was especially prevalent also with K-pop stars. There was a lot of like BTS X-reader fanfictions, and I don't know why I forgot to put that in the script, so this might be a bit more rambly, sorry. But I remember that extremely distinctly. Not only would people write themselves in the audience being picked by their favorite BTS member, that specific subgenre of X-reader had a lot of not safe for work content, and it was like a lot of children imagining themselves like inappropriately with K-pop stars, and again, real people. So yeah, that was weird. So those are the most memorable types of content within these spaces that I can remember. You might have noticed that I didn't actually include a lot of examples of people's writing in this. And the reason is that I don't want to drag some random 12-year-old's writing from nearly a decade ago as if it's some joke. The bits that I did include are from fanfictions that have a lot of visage already, so it's kind of like that they're already out there, you know? But some random book with like 5,000 reads, I'm not gonna bring it up for this video. Most of these pieces were just kids having fun, and I don't see a reason to use their self-expression as entertainment. That being said, I do know one child that I don't mind beating into the ground for their horrific writing, so let's go tear mini FROMMIS limb by limb. Throughout writing the script, I've been trying to avoid even looking at my fanfiction, Here's the thing, I wanted to make this video for a long time. I think it's a really interesting part of the internet, but knowing that I have to include my own writing, and more than that, read my own writing, and more than that, say it out loud is not easy. So here we go. Important question, what fandom is a fanfiction? Okay, this is my old profile. Oh lord. 2018, I was 13. We have 3 Yansem fanfictions that are already published, and you can see these. And they're all X-readers. This is Yumeji Kizuguchi. So, here's my man's. So, I don't know if you guys know Yandere simulators. This is the leader of the delinquents, besides the other leader, like the female rival one. This is the one that people actually like, people know in game. I think I can still tell you their names. It's Yumeji, Hayanari, Goku, or Gaku, not Goku, it's Gaku, Hokuto, and Dayanari. But I might be wrong, because these two had their names swapped a lot for some reason. So again, I really like delinquent type fanfictions, which is why you'll notice there's another one right here. Instead of just Yumeji, we have all 5 of them. Cause why not, right? This one is a recent one, sadly. 2019, yeah, that's like, well, that, I mean, I guess it's like 6 to 7 years ago. 6, 7! You guys know, y'all know, the main character of Yandere Simulator. Now, do you guys know Ayato? Hey, this is where it's at. These are the 3 that are published on my account. Babe, we're doing a watch party. A watch party of what? No! Of me? No! We're gonna read this one. Alright. Everyone get your popcorn. Get your cheese on. Get your munchies. If at any point it gets too cringe, please just leave. If it's too bad, I think you just have to do both of us a favor and remove yourself from the situation. Let's read the description, guys. No, actually, we're not gonna read. So this is a prologue. It's me explaining each character and my headcanons of them. Alright, let's see what Yumeji is like, guys. Innocent. Oh, we're starting strong. Innocent boy. Humility. Oh! Who let me write this? He's humble. Ooh, rubbing my temples. Tough. Feels neglected, reasoning for his tough behavior. Narcissistic. Yeah, no. Cherry? Oh, I think I gave them each, like, a fruit? I guess peach is good for him. I definitely wouldn't want to use lemon on Wattpad. Yeah, and I gave him a deep voice. Not saying that. Smooth. Daddy number 2, second to blueberry. What? Grape. Yeah, okay, it's a... What? This guy's daddy number 1? Oh, I forgot I made one assume there. It's this one. I think this one's the... No, he's red. He's the blueberry? No, he's the... Sure. Second to blueberry, who's coming up? Well, it's definitely not him. Or is it? What? Why would he be a blueberry? He's red. I don't understand. And he's not my favorite. Why is he daddy number 1? Why, dude? Apple, strawberry, raspberry. There's so many options. Fumbled that for no reason. He never changed colors, by the way. I don't know why he's the blueberry. Gets attached easily. Deepest voice. Oh my god. Who is this? We've got our setup done. I think it's time to actually read. Oh, okay, it's written in first person, at least this one. Or third person, I guess we'll find out. Sorry, I was looking at the screen, realizing what I'm about to do. Alright. First day. Oh wait, should we come up with a name for YN, or are we just gonna say YN? YN chan. Oh, the stupid thing. I know what you're talking about. Ugly ass great. Yeah, YN chan. I'm thinking about this. Oh, this works perfectly. It's 1 a.m. so I'm kind of quiet right now, but very quick FYI because I didn't say this in the stream. For the sake of time, we're only going to be focusing on one character because just reading all of them is going to take too long. If you want to see me reading more of it for whatever reason, just go to the live stream, it's still there. But for the sake of the video, we're just going to be covering Hayanari's story because he was my favorite at the time. Alright, Hayanari. Maybe I should head to class. I was on the rooftop after all. I wouldn't make it if I made my way any later. Who writes like this? I started walking down the stairs, keeping the headphones on my head. I was listening to Calm Violin song. No, the fuck you weren't. Could you imagine? Nobody's gonna fucking do that. What? That's so corny. After a few moments, I closed my eyes once again and felt myself hit something rather hard. I already recognized it as a chest. Then just say that! Gah! I'm so sorry. It was my fault. I wasn't looking. Damn right it was. Whoa. Watch where you're going next time, alright? Kid? Kid? It's him, by the way. One of the boys I saw yesterday. One of those boys that were with the yellow-eyed one. I will again. I'm sorry if I bothered you. Girl, pick yourself up! I gave him an apologetic smile, then he raised an eyebrow towards me. Aren't you the pupper we saw yesterday when we came? Oh my god, they're gonna use that word a lot too. Oh, great. Pupper? People are already giving me nicknames. Oh my... Jesus Christ, Wine, I was joking around with you, calm down. I'm sorry if I spoke too fast for you, I just hold on. How do you know my name? I was there when you Meiji asked for your name, remember? Wait, you probably don't know his name. It was the dude with an emo hairstyle and yellow shirt. Twin! Are you talking right now? Why is he telling me his name? Ayanari Sumito. Now I gotta go, don't come near me again. Who falls for this thing? He walked past me, shoving me to the side a bit as he made his way to his locker. Maybe that's why he bumped into me. He needed to get to his locker and didn't see me from the doorway. Thanks for letting me know. I sighed and rubbed my shoulder from the impact he had on it. I whined aloud and started heading to class 1-2. No, we're not reading this one. No. I know what this one is. We're not reading that. I mentioned this story in a video. I have this very vivid memory from when I was in the 8th grade. I was in the bus with one of my friends. They watched that video. They said they didn't do this. I know they did. I don't forget easily. And somehow they opened up my fanfiction. We're on the bus. It's a 2-hour ride to get back home because we were at a field trip. And she starts reading that chapter out loud. And I don't know how to say this out loud. At the time, I was very insecure. That chapter was very demi-human. It had werewolves, cat people, bunny, and I think those were the 3. She read that chapter out loud in the bus, and it was cringe and it was bad. And for the sake of my heart, we will not look at it. Otherwise, I'm gonna be brought back to that moment, you know, just 13, small, can't do anything. So we're gonna read Befriending. This is basically like choose your favorite one. And I think for the sake of time, we're gonna choose one. Because at this point it's very much boyfriend scenarios. You just read the one that you like the most. So let's pick one, chat. Which one do we like the most? We have blonde, blue, blueberry, apparently, purple, and gray. I don't have a thing for blondes. Well, you're in luck, because they're not blonde. Oh, I think I know why I named them the fruits. Oh, there we go. I get it now. Okay. Yes, I understand it now. It's because of their original hair color. That's why he's blueberry. If you don't know the story, this is a really weird time to start revealing it. Basically, they were all normal people and they got bullied a lot. It's why in the game, they're really aggressive towards the bullies. They got bullied a lot. I forgot her name. When she came up and she was like hella badass, whatever, they started like clinging to her because they thought like, oh, she can keep us safe. It's low-key really cute because like she didn't like try to like push them away or anything. Like this is really cute, honestly. So they started hanging around her a lot, and that's why they adapted the blonde hair, the scar, the like, you know, being aggressive and stuff. So that's their story. Oh, that makes so much sense as to why he's the blueberry. I'm sure I said that too. I just didn't read it. I sky blue hair prior to becoming a delinquent. I'm so dumb. I think you can tell from the writing that I used to have a certain type, and it's not a good one. I grew up in a loving home, by the way. I don't know why this was my type. But he was my favorite. I guess in retrospect, it's only fair that we read his parts the most. Hey, pupper, turn around. I was on my way to the gaming club for whatever activity we were gonna. Then I heard Hayanari's voice behind me. I turned around and gave him a confused look. Need something, Haya? I gave him a nickname? But he hates us! Don't call me that. Fair. I don't know why she's giving him a nickname, bro. And yeah, I do. You're going to do something and you don't have a choice. Huh? Sure. What is it? You're going to the rooftop with me. You're gonna spy on that gray-eyed freak? Hayanari, don't you have gray eyes? Shut up, I have lively eyes. She has some dead eyes. Besides, I need to get back at her for beating me when I was distracted. Ooh, you got your ass beat by a girl. Time for her to get a taste of her own medicine? I'm not one for violence. Did I ask? Oh, I hate him. He's so mean. Did I ask? No, come on. He grabbed my wrist and started heading me upstairs. He pushed me onto the roof. Who is this guy? Why was he my face? I wrote this, by the way. Why did I make him so mean? And I stumbled a bit trying to keep myself up. I heard him scoff. He pushed me, but sure. And he came next to me. Now help me find the damn girl. I don't think she's up here. I felt a hand cover my mouth, not letting me speak. Whoever this was started quietly dragging me back and somehow perfectly covering my muffled yelps. Hayanari growled and now I was out of his view. I told you not to call me— Wait, does he not know I'm being fucking kidnapped right now? What? He noticed I wasn't there and started turning his head back and forth. What the hell? I bit the hand of whoever was holding me and they yelped in pain. They let go of me and I sprinted up the stairs. Hayanari saw me and he seemed angry. Why'd you leave? I didn't! Oh, here we are! Okay. For context, I actually sent these parts of the fanfiction to them and I said, can you voice act them? And they did. And this is the parts. Yes! Perfect! Alright, where are we? We're right here, stupid.
Stupid. Just had to be still for a few seconds, and you could have been mine, Garrett.
Thanks, Toast. I turned around and saw a boy with gray hair and eyes. They almost look like a male version of Ayano. Oh, I wonder who that is. Hayanari stayed still and then grabbed my shoulder. He gently pushed— those two words just don't go together. He gently pushed me behind him and then pulled out a pipe from his back. A pipe? You better leave in the next 5 seconds or so God help me. Shut the fuck up. Shut up, delinquent. Oh. See, I wouldn't let someone call me that. You ain't nothing special, you're just another copy. Wait, he kind of is. She's actually worth a value, so move. Wait, stop. He pointed towards me and I gave him a confused face. Worth of value? What do you mean? Hayanari shushed me again and he got in a fighting stance. I'll give you one more warning before I beat the shit out of you. Oh, you think you can beat me? He pulled out a knife from his pocket and I started backing up in fear. Why are you carrying a knife? Oh, hold on, my boyfriend did one of this. My boyfriend did that one.
Sometimes I need to hurt people. I'm doing this for you, princess.
Hayanari swung at him more times, hitting him here and there. Dude, if you get hit once with a pipe, low-key, you should just get out of there. I didn't want to be there. So true. I didn't want to be there for real. But I wanted to be able to help Hayanari if he got hurt bad. Hayanari swung his bat. His bat? Which one is towards his face? Hitting him? What? The boy passed out. This is a crime. Yeah, dude, this is an actual crime. Like, he should get arrested at this point. You knocked him out. Should we help? Nope. We gotta get out of here. Dude, don't implicate me in your crime. You hit someone in the face with a bat/pipe? He might not wake up. If he gets near you again, you tell me. Don't trust the guidance counselor with this stuff. If someone ever says this to you, do not listen to them. What the fuck? I nodded and he turned away from me. He shoved the pipe, oh now it's a pipe, back into his bag on his back. It's called a backpack. It's called a backpack. And then threw his balled up hand in his pocket. Stalker thinks he can just what? Don't call me pupper, oh my god. We did it, boys. We finished befriending. I don't know what befriending was done there. He took me on the roof to try and sabotage Ayano. I almost got kidnapped. And then he hit him in the face with a pipe. What befriending was there? I mean, I guess they're closer now? Is trauma bonding? Do you think that's a way to say it? We're gonna go with that. Hanging out. We're gonna hang out with him, guys. Are you excited? I invited him to hang out. Why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Since I was bored and didn't have to go to my club today. He for some reason agreed, saying he had nothing better to do with the delinquents. We met up on the rooftop. And I was just snacking on a cookie Ayano gave me. Yeah, we should definitely be eating that. I heard loud footsteps and turned around to see the same gray-haired boy from before running near me. He was going to run past me, but when he got near me, he started fidgeting around. Whatever he was running from caught up to him. It was a teacher. She pinned him to the— What is happening? Okay, remember what I said about how I'm using too many words for one sentence? We're not using enough anymore. In about 5 seconds, the freak from the last chapter is running up, gets near me, starts being nervous, gets tackled by a teacher? Oh, and he's covered in blood. I ran out of the area, making my way down the stairs. What is happening? I bumped into the familiar chest and looked up to see Hayanari, as expected. He raised an eyebrow once he saw me and then gave me an angered look. So you were gonna ditch? What? I'm running away! Do you not see the fear etched on my face? What? I shook my head and quickly explained how the boy from last week was on the rooftop getting pinned down by a teacher. He seemed to relax a bit more after that and sighed. Sorry, I'm not used to meeting up with someone. Well, we can tell. I've been done those things since about a year or two ago. We can tell. I nodded and told him we could chill and walk around the school instead, which he agreed to. Once Ayano came near him, he started to growl loudly. Ew! That's gross. Why do you want your man growling at you? Which I smacked him on the back for. He glared at me and I only raised an eyebrow. Why do you act like a dog? True. Ain't that rich coming from the pupper? I'm not a dog! You're fucking growling at someone! Who does that? He answered as she went back to watching her every move. Oh, I guess he. Once she was out of view, he finally looked back at me. What'd she even do wrong? I don't understand why the 5 of you hate her so much. She did a whole lot. I've seen her. He cut himself on and shook his head. Never mind. What? What did she do? I said never mind. Oh, it's my mom. Oh, my mom's calling me. She texted me if I'm hungry. Oh, my mom. We gotta call her back. Hold on, guys. You're about to meet my mom. She's so sweet. Ma?
¿Tienes hambre, mami?
Sí.
¿Quieres encargar un Subway o quieres que te traiga algo de...? Tú dime.
Pues, ¿no estás en la casa?
¿Sí?
Oh, sí, suena bien.
Ok, encárgalo y yo voy por él.
Alright, thank you.
De nada, mi amor.
Love you.
Me too.
Bye bye. She didn't say back. That was a sidebar and a half. What's this one? Gaining feelings. Oh my god, guys, we're almost there. We're gonna kiss. Oh my god. The most cruel delinquent. The one who never felt much for anyone. The one who only had respect for Osoro. I got her name right. Osoro and his fellow delinquents, and there goes his heart. Shit. You see how I worded that so much better? I don't know why I didn't do that before. It's that easy. He got addicted to your attention. Not healthy. And always wanted to see you happy and healthy. You know what? That's healthy. He was an easy one to get jealous. Not healthy. Seeing as every time a boy talked to you, he would feel his eye twitch and a low growl come out of him. Not healthy. That's not healthy. You were an angel to him. He was addicted to you. Not healthy. He needed you. Not healthy. He felt depressed anytime you didn't show up to school. Not healthy. What? Is he okay? His heart was so lifted once he saw you smiling and being energetic. Healthy. Everything else What? Though it is stupid, he even got jealous a few times other girls would talk to you. He didn't know if you were straight, bi, or pan. He only knew he had a chance since he knew you were attracted to boys. You know what? I love the inclusivity. Why doesn't he ask though? I'm pretty sure I'm not a girl. Thanks, Cecil. I'm straight. The straight pride. I like that we got the entire spectrum. We got a straight person, bi, pan, and a man. He was going to confess and you were going to belong to him. Not healthy. And nobody was going to take it away from him. Not healthy. You were the one he felt like his heart belongs to and he wanted to be yours as much as he wanted you to be his. Not healthy? She's just a lesbian and they didn't know. And now that I say that out loud, I think there was someone who would comment on my books. Like, she said that, like, she just liked my writing, but she said she was a lesbian and was, like, just reading, like, for the sake of reading. And she would comment on a lot of parts, like, oh, I'm not into this. Yeah, of course you're not, twin. Who would have thunk? As for you, you had a small little crush on him since he opened up so much towards you. Nonchalant YN. She said, he's cute, I guess. Oh, how you'd like seeing him smile or be generally happy. Healthy. You wanted to confess for a while now, but just how would you do it? You were gonna do it for sure, but just how? Why me? I'm not saying that, like, you know, men have to be the one to confess, but why me? I'm slightly smitten. He's, like, obsessed. He's, like, in danger. Talking about, like, if he gets depressed when he doesn't see you, but I'm confessing. Here we go, guys. It's the confession. What could I do to confess? Cherry tree. As if that's probably the cheesiest place I could go to. Well, but where else could I... Oh, it's him! Oh, oops. I should get to, like, saying what point of view we're reading from. He then thought of one perfect spot, the spot you love the most. He nodded before running to your locker and shoving a note inside, trying to be as quick as possible so people wouldn't see the blushing mess that he was. He's so insecure. If you want this to be your partner and you want to be seen with her, like, wherever you go, why are you embarrassed to even show that you like her? Like, that's weird, right? He ran out to the spot, leaving you to get the note. You walked over to your locker about to head home and pulled out the note. Hey, pupper, meet me at the East Fountain, alright? Don't show up and you'll regret it. I wouldn't go. You're not gonna talk to me like that. What the fuck? Why would you say that? You rolled your eyes before stuffing the note in your bag and running over to the fountain. Took you long enough. You looked up to see Hayanari covering his face with a hand, looking away from you. Well, I'm sorry, mister. I'll hurt you if you don't do as I say. He sighed as he put his hand into his pocket, revealing the blushing face that was underneath. Aw. Shut up, I didn't mean it. I was just writing too fast. So you told me you'd hurt me? What? Alright, you're gonna listen to me carefully because I'm gonna say this once. What? You can't. What? Meanie. I'm sorry if that was loud. I hit my metal desk with a hammer. I have a hammer. You nodded quickly, looking at how his expression became soft. Good. Now how exactly did I say this? Fuck, I didn't plan jack shit. Dude, was this written by Vivzy Pop? I really fucking like you. Please tell me you like me too, he said, quickly, his grip on your shoulders tight. Ooh. That's definitely a way to go about it. If someone... Put yourself in these shoes. You kind of like a guy. He's really aggressive, but for some reason you have a crush on him, whatever. You get a note in your locker at 5:30 p.m. and it says, meet me at your favorite spot or you'll regret it. You begrudgingly go to this spot, and after still being pretty rude to you, he goes, I really fucking like you. Please tell me you like me too. What the fuck do you even say? I feel like you have to say you like him, like, for your own safety, but then, like, the moment it's done, block his number, go to another school, because this feels unsafe. He did straight up say I would regret it if I wasn't here. You stood there shocked before slowly starting to laugh. Dead, she should be dead. There's no way. That's what you wanted to tell me? He nodded, his grip on my shoulders becoming loose. What about you? What do you think of me? He's so weird. I like you too. You giggled, thinking he would groan at the nickname, but instead he lifted you up with his arms and planted a kiss on your lips. On the first day? That's crazy. You became the bigger blushing mess out of the two, making him laugh. Call me whatever you want and won't make me stop loving you. Well, that's kind of cute. Go ahead and make fun of this if you want. My boyfriend and I did not have our first kiss until about 1.5 years into our relationship. I'm someone who's very anxious about kisses, so I refrained from that for a while. So seeing that kiss on the first 10 seconds of being together, that's crazy work. Okay, that was like really painful. I feel like puking, actually. That was so much worse than I thought it'd be. But also really fun. Like, I forgot I wrote a lot of that. Regardless, I've wanted to do this video again for the better part of 1 year, but I was always really worried about sharing these aspects of myself, even if they're from nearly a decade ago. I know I'm not the only person who fell into this timeline of reading cringy self-inserts for the sake of escapism. There's definitely something to be said about whether this content was even appropriate for kids to consume, let alone write. Spoiler, I should not have been writing that stuff. But that being said, I really am happy I had this outlet, as I'm sure many other young writers were too. This whole Wattpad era was where a lot of us first learned how to write, even if it was messy or edgy or embarrassing. It was still creative expression. Fanfiction was training wheels. It was a gateway into storytelling, world building, and sharing ideas with other people. And even the most cringeworthy ones, especially the most cringeworthy ones, are little cultural time capsules of what we loved, feared, and fantasized about back then. And X-Reader fanfiction never went away, it just moved. Archive of Our Own is bigger than ever with that type of content, and TikTok is, again, just still full on doing it. There was a time in like 2021 or 22 where I was going crazy with those X-Reader fanfics. Wattpad itself is still going really strong, even if its golden age has already passed. The golden age of X-Reader fanfiction was messy and cursed and sometimes embarrassing, and I wanted to gouge my eyes out, but it was ours. And unfortunately for me, now everyone has public access to my old fanfiction, so yay. Anyways, it's 7 p.m. Saturday, the time I'm filming, and the Canelo fight starts in an hour. I'm actually like really excited. Did you know Canelo started his professional boxing career the day that I was born? Not just my birthday. The day I was born, October 29, 2005. So, plus he's Mexican, and I'm also Mexican, so that's pretty cool. So, basically, if he doesn't win, I think I'm just gonna go and like kill myself.